Welcome to Canvas for Poets. Canvas is the LMS or learning management system that we will use in this course. When you log in, you will come to this home page. Notice at the bottom of the home page you have three icons. By clicking on these icons, you can access the syllabus, modules, or a fact sheet designed for students using Canvas. In the top left-hand corner, you have a navigation bar. From this navigation bar, you can access home, announcements, modules, grades, conferences, syllabus, and people in the course. One note about syllabus. This is a different syllabus than the one at the bottom of the page. This is not a traditional syllabus. It's actually a schedule of assignments. The word syllabus is controlled by Canvas. I would change it to schedule or the like. At any rate, it's a very convenient way to access all of your assignments with their due dates. This course is modules driven. So let's take a look at modules. We'll click on the modules navigation, and you'll notice that we have a number of modules before us. First, there's the student orientation to Canvas. By clicking here, you can access this introduction to Canvas as well as the fact sheet. Let's close this module and open forums. Here you have a couple of discussion forums. Ask the Professor and Student to Student. Ask the Professor is one way that you'll communicate with me. If you have questions that are public in nature and that others would benefit from, use this forum. If you want to chat with each other, use the Student to Student forum. Let's click on Ask the Professor. Notice on the right-hand side you have a grayed out subscribe button. By clicking on that button, it will go green. Now you are subscribed to this forum. If you are subscribed, then all posts will automatically come into your email, and you will not need to go into the forum to see if there are any posts relevant to you. Well, let's go back to modules, and let's close forums, and look at course resources. Here you have a number of resources for the course. The video introduction to the course, guides and guidelines for working through interpreting the Psalms, and then for writing your project. Lecture materials. You can access lecture outlines, lecture presentations, and lecture audio. And then there are miscellaneous files. Make sure you read the communication protocols. One thing you'll read there is that if you want to communicate with me about something that is private and not public, then you will use inbox. Inbox is a way that you and I can communicate with each other from within Canvas using our private email. Well, let's close this module and take a look at week 1. Week 1 is typical of the first 4 weeks. You'll have week 1 required reading, quiz 1, discussion post and reply 1, and then after those are submitted, I'll give you a brief feedback video, and there will be a forum open for questions and comments with regard to that feedback. Weeks 2, 3, and 4 will have the same layout. Week 5 will be a little bit different. You'll have your week 5 required reading, but then step 1 and step 2 will be submitted here. These are the first 2 steps in your Psalm project. Again, after they're submitted, I'll give you video feedback, and there'll be a forum for questions and comments. Week 6 will be the same, except you'll also, in addition to steps 3 and 4, submit your first reflection paper on the Book of Psalms. And then we come to course completion, and at course completion, you will submit your reflection paper on Proverbs. You'll take your first exam on Proverbs. You'll submit your reflection paper on Ecclesiastes, Job, or Song of Songs, and take your second exam on those 3 books. And finally, you'll submit your reflection workbook on the Old Testament today. Well, that's a brief overview of Canvas for Poets. May God bless you with great success in this course.